All right, so let's begin looking at ways that we can improve our listening by looking at strategies to help us become better receivers of other people's messages. And basically, all of these have to do with grounding ourselves and becoming more present in order to just be good observers of what other people are saying, good receivers of what other people are saying. These are all things that I do in my own life, and I encourage you to adopt them in yours. They'll not only, I think, help your listening. I think by helping you listen, it'll also help you build better relationships. Before you can really give yourself over to listening to others deeply, it's important that you have a good sense of how you're feeling at the time, so that you're not kind of listening with your emotions. And to do that, I like to do a kind of internal emotional scan and try to name my feelings. And when you actually name your feelings and kind of put words to them, it does move them from the unconscious to the conscious mind and give you some distance from those feelings. And with that distance, you have a greater ability to kind of control and change your mood and your attitude and how you're feeling. So naming it's important. I like to check my senses, and I use this 5-step process here to do so. And this is a really great thing if you're just in a very frenzied or stressed out situation, or if you're having, this would even work for like an anxiety attack potentially. But if you just want to get grounded and ready and prepared to have a good conversation with somebody, you could start by naming 5 things that you can see. Don't maybe go for obvious things, but look around and try to just observe and name 5 things that you observe. 4 things that you can hear, right? Listen carefully and see what you can discriminate between, and try to name 4 things you can hear. 3 things that you can touch or feel. It could be like the clothes on your body. It could be the seat below your body, your feet on the floor, something in your hand. 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And by doing this kind of inventory, we become a lot more present and mindful of the stimulus around us and our perceptual sensing. So this will help ground you. Diaphragmatic breathing is good. Not only to prepare yourself for listening, we also teach it, of course, in public speaking for projection. So it has many benefits. But diaphragmatic breathing refers to breathing basically all the way down to your diaphragm and with your diaphragm, rather than breathing with the upper part of your chest and lungs. And we have a tendency, as we're going throughout our days and we're not thinking about our breathing, to breathe in a very shallow manner. Most of the time we're kind of panting like dogs. And so it takes conscious effort to actually go against that natural type of breathing and to do some deep diaphragmatic breathing. And so that means kind of relaxing your shoulders, sitting up straight, having room here in your belly, because when you're going to breathe, you're going to want to expand outwards. And you can kind of just practice that on your own, seated, lying down, put a book on your stomach, and just deeply breathe all the way in, all the way out. So I encourage you to practice that, and that's a great way to just settle yourself down. So, and out. And you can do it through the nose, or as I just did, through the mouth. Yoga, that I want you to go through the nose. I think that's generally a good practice. Ratio breathing is using diaphragmatic breathing, but in a certain pattern of breath. And I'll just quickly teach you a 4-4 breath, 4-4-4 breath. And how that goes is you take, let's say we start on the in breath, a deep breath in for a 4 count. In, 2, 3, 4, and then you hold your breath, 2, 3, 4, and then out breath, 2, 3, 4. I'll keep counting it. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So do that on your own, in your own head. And eventually you can sort of stop counting and just keep that pattern of in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, in a certain ratio. And that's very calming and relaxing to your nervous system. It's going to give you lots of oxygen-rich blood to wake you up. And it could go along with meditation, my next recommendation for how to prepare yourself for listening and social interaction in general. Meditation generally involves, a lot of people think it means clearing your mind, and it certainly does to a certain extent, but it also is a focusing of the mind, a kind of easy focusing of the mind on something simple like your breathing. I like to sometimes just focus on a part of my forehead right here as I'm breathing. And you're going to have thoughts. Thoughts are going to come while you're meditating. What you're trying to do is not necessarily get rid of your thoughts. You're trying to give your mind something gentle to focus on. And then as those other thoughts come in, you're just kind of letting them go through, pass out of your conscious mind without holding on to them or reacting to them or thinking about them. You just start to try to witness your thoughts and let them go as you maintain your focus on this easy repetition of some mantra or breathing or a feeling that I get in the forehead. So that's my really quick and dirty explanation of meditation. I encourage you to explore it on your own and seek out other resources. There are lots of resources available to you online, on YouTube, or through various apps that could help you with meditation. So highly recommend that you do that. You can do all of these things in combination with a mountain pose when you're preparing for social interaction. And mountain pose comes from yoga, and I'll give you a rough idea of it from back here, but you stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, your weight evenly distributed between your toes and your heels, and your shoulders should just be kind of relaxed in back. And you can turn your hands outward, kind of rise your chest and your sternum out and shine forward. Tuck your tailbone under and stand. And you're kind of strong, relaxed, upright. Power stance, I think it was used in a video you may have watched. And that's a great way to just ground your body. There's lots of videos on yoga poses, because that's what that is. But in particular, you can look up videos just on mountain posing. And it has many benefits, which primarily are grounding you. Okay, so those are the ones I wanted to give you. I got a few more tips coming in later videos. Oop.